Hello to you, William. What's the situation in Tbilisi? We know that several thousand people have gathered for a protest rally.
Well, indeed, really quite dramatic scenes in central Tbilisi earlier today. A very large opposition rally, probably more than 10,000 strong, gathered in a sort of downtown location, quite far away from the parliament building, while the military parade was going on the central street of Tbilisi in front of the parliament. They then marched to parliament, and the whole area around that was cordoned off by special forces and riot police. And when the large crowd of protesters arrived, these special forces and riot police piled into their buses and sped away in front of the protesters, away from the protesters, allowing the protesters to then march onto the Parliament building almost as soon as the parade was itself over. They're there right now. They're still there. They're saying they'll stay there unless the Central Election Commission of Georgia dismisses the results of the elections, which were only held a few days ago. There was a few minor incidents when they arrived at Parliament. There was a temporary podium erected in front of the building from which President Saakashvili surveyed the troops. That was sort of vandalized and demolished. Also, because there were quite a lot of people that had been there to watch the parade, generally government supporters, there were some harsh words, some obscenities exchanged between the opposition supporters and the government supporters, both accusing each other of having been bribed, of being traitors and so on. But right now the situation does look relatively calm. At the beginning there did seem to be a few hotheads who were intent on stirring up trouble, but right now it does look calm. It does appear that they will stay there at least for the day, and possibly, according to some opposition leaders, tomorrow as well, and indeed until their demands are met. But certainly this is the largest rally that the opposition have managed to muster since the presidential election in January, and so they intend to stay there for the time being.
Now, a military parade has taken place in Tbilisi. Could you tell us more about that?
Well, indeed, this is Georgia's Independence Day, celebrating its independence from the Russian Empire in 1918. And traditionally on this day there's been a military parade in the center of Tbilisi. However, today it was a much more low-key affair than other years. About 3,000 troops filed past Polish President Lech Kaczynski and Mikhail Saakashvili, the President of Georgia. There was also some artillery on display and some armored personnel vehicles. Instead of making a traditional speech, which Saakashvili has done most years, he just made some brief remarks praising the army, praising the reforms that have been carried out in Georgia's armed forces. Also, the Polish president made an address talking about the recent elections in Georgia, saying that though there were problems with the elections, all elections have problems, and these were fair. That was, of course, not what the opposition parties who gathered literally minutes later thought, and this opposition protest so quickly after the parade did rather spoil the whole affair, certainly from the government's point of view. However, I must stress the situation is calm, and it does look like it will remain calm for the foreseeable future.
All right, thank you for that update, William. That was RT correspondent in Tbilisi, William Dumbum.